Sorry, Colonel, before you proceed, just to interject. You mentioned the firearm license. Did you see the number? Who was the owner of it?
No, I didn't look at the owner of the firearm.
So, this bullet that was brought to you for testing, and the reason for bringing the license, the firearm license, was it to prove that the firearm was legitimate or legal or not legal? Was it to prove ownership, or was it to prove that it was used during the commission of an offense?
My lord, it was sent to be compared with the bullet just to test if it's not the firearm that was used.
My concern is the ownership. I want the person who was the owner of that license or of that firearm, because there was a license.
My lord, there was license with it, but I didn't look at the license. I didn't look at the owner of the firearm. My concern was to compare the firearm with the bullet, but not to know who the owner is. Normally when we work on exhibits, we receive exhibits, we work on those exhibits, we don't even know who the owners of those firearms are.
Were any photos that were taken when you received those exhibits? Did you take any photos, or any person took photos on those exhibits, including the license?
No, we don't take photos of exhibits that we receive.
My lord, may I approach my colleague, Advocate Baloyi?
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Sir, I just verified the information relating to the license of that firearm. My colleague has confirmed that firearm belongs to Chicco Twala'S.
My lord, I don't know who the firearms owner is.
The way that I laughed. The problem with Mngomezulu is you cannot predict him, and also you cannot cage him either. He asked Mangena, whose firearm was it? You're the one who put in your affidavit that there was a firearm, there was a holster, and there was the bullets, and also what? There was a firearm license. Now I'm just going to ask you the bare minimum. Whose license was it? Mangena, I don't know. Okay. You didn't take photos of it? No, we don't take photos. We just really so concerned to begin testing, even though there's this paper right here and I know how to read, but I'm really not interested. How did you know it was a firearm license if he never read it? Do you catch what I'm saying? But you know what? He's not going to say to Mngomezulu that he knows whose firearm it is, and Mngomezulu says, hold my glass of water. Hold my glass of water because I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Hold the line. My lord, can I please approach my learned colleague, Baloyi? Imagine Baloyi in this moment. Baloyi is, Sibanda is not even there, okay? So he can deflect to him. No, it's Baloyi. Mngomezulu walks right over. Cameraman does the cameraman work, flips the camera. We see the conversation. Well, we see them having a conversation. Baloyi has no choice. The record is on, okay? The recordings are going. Bali and team over there are going to have to transcribe this. Mngomezulu returns, okay, to his podium and he says, my lord, I've just confirmed with Advocate Baloyi and the firearm belongs to Chicco Twala'S. Why does Mngomezulu just wake up and choose violence? Why does he choose violence every time he's at that podium? Because Chicco Twala'S name again has just been dropped by Mngomezulu. And you already know, okay, all of a sudden, okay, Mangena suddenly knows it's Chicco Twala'S gun. Because he says this when he's talking with who? Umnisi in their cross-examination a few days later. But just a few days before, this was on Wednesday. Yeah, I believe this was this was Tuesday. This was on Tuesday. Nisi has been Thursday and Friday. Within that short space of time, Mngomezulu was able to jog his memory, okay? But let's continue listening on because we both know Mngomezulu is going somewhere with this.
This one bothers me because Chicco was not in the crime scene when this offense was committed. My concern is, why did they take Chicco Twala'S firearm for testing if he was not in the crime scene? That's what bothers me, because you said the purpose of bringing or to do examination was to determine whether the exhibits that were found in the crime scene matches with the ammunition or of a particular firearm. A firearm that was brought to you belonged legally to Chicco Twala. My question is, if Chicco Twala was not in the crime scene, or maybe let me reserve it for Kininda. I'll reserve it for Kininda, that question.
My lord, I do not know who the owner of that firearm is, and it's not the only firearm that I have received to compare with this bullet.
Okumhluphayo ke lana ukuthi ke uChicco Twala ke ngathi ke kwenzeka isigameko lesike wayengekho ke lapho. Sengihlusha ke ukuthi ke ngoba ushilo ke ukuthi ke inhloso ukuthi ke uqhathaniseke ukuthi ke leyo nhlamvu leyo wayithola iyahlangana yini nesibhamu leso. Bese ngishilo ke ukuthi angimazi umnikazi futhi akusona kuphela ke isibhamu engasithola ke leso ukuthi ngiqhathanise naleyo nhlamvu leyo.
But what can associate Chicco Twala with the testing of that firearm is the presence of Longwe at the crime scene when Senzo was shot. That's how they are linked, Chicco and Longwe. Chicco is the father to Longwe. And there's a theory that I'm going to prove it later on, that Longwe is the one who fired a shot to Senzo. So I just want to know.
My lord, I cannot comment on that one, because as I said, this is not the only firearm that they have sent for analysis or to compare with this bullet. There's other firearms that I have compared with this, and they were all negative with the bullet.
In answering your question, or to address you on the aspect of this is not the only firearm that you are giving evidence on this particular firearm. I'm not asking you about other firearms. I'm mainly concerned about your evidence here, sir.
Yeah, my lord, the question was specifically this firearm, who's the owner? But I said I don't know the owner, but why is this firearm sent to you? I said this is not the only firearm, there are other firearms. Why is this not the same question with the other firearms, that why are all these firearms sent to be compared if their owners were not at the scene?
Okay, it's fine. I'll do so as you so please. But let me just put it this way. Let me just address this part. At this time, on the 3rd of November 2014, Brigadier Kininda was not the investigating officer in this case. Do you know that?
Yes, I know that, my lord.
And what I've noted, the correct procedure was followed. You received the exhibit from the case administration. You did the testing and the examination of the firearm. As a result, the results were negative. I'm happy about that evidence. And that the fact that I have to emphasize, Brigadier Kininda was not an investigating officer at that time. Let's move on.
Sorry, for my own understanding, the assertion now which you are putting, are you linking it to the fact that you say the firearm, which was the license of the alleged firearm, which he also examined,
Yes,
belonged to Chicco Twala,
correct.
right? And then you extrapolate that fact to say that you will tell him that it is Longwe who fired the shot. How do you link the two?
No. I'm saying Chicco Twala is the owner of the firearm.
Right? And he's the father to Longwe, you say?
He's the father to Longwe.
Right?
Longwe was at the crime scene when Senzo was shot.
Right.
But Chicco was not there.
Right.
My concern is why the investigating officers at that time had to take the firearm that belonged to Chicco for examination. That was my main concern.
Irrespective of the relationship of Chicco and Longwe.
Longwe is the one. That would be the assumption to say, because Longwe was present.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they had to go to Chicco's Twala to take his firearm for examination.
Yeah,
but there must be a theory grounded from there.
Oh, I see. So
Yes.
the fact that you're saying you're putting it to this witness, that you're not actually putting the assertion, you're indicating
Yes.
that theory, which you allude to, says that it is Longwe who shot Senzo.
That's
Did I hear
correct.
you properly?
That's correct.
Okay, fine.
And I'll put it further to you that the firearm that Longwe used to shoot Senzo was a 38 special revolver, not a 9mm.
My lord, there was no evidence of a 38 special revolver or any revolver at the crime scene. The only evidence that was at the crime scene was a 9mm bullet that was recovered.
When they say the internet never forgets, it really means literally that the internet never forgets. Like I said before, this was on Tuesday when Mangena was being cross-examined for the first time by Mngomezulu, okay? And Mangena had not yet gone through a cross-examination. He only did his evidence in chief last year with Baloyi. So you already know that the court decorum is very different when it's the state putting the evidence to the record. But with Mngomezulu, he's asking specific questions to get exactly to the bottom of what happened. And we see here where Judge Rata, of course, for his own understanding, starts to ask questions around, why are you bringing up Chicco Twala? So you're saying that the firearm that he examined belongs to Chicco Twala. Mngomezulu says, yes, that's right. Then you're saying it is Longwe who fired the shot. How are you making that link? As Judge Rata. And then Mngomezulu says, well, it is the investigating officers at that time who sent Chicco's gun, okay, for testing. So therefore, there has to be a reason why they wanted to do that. They wouldn't just randomly ask Chicco to submit his firearms for testing. There must have been a theory. So Judge Rata says, so that theory is that Ulongwe, who was at the crime scene, is the one who shot Senzo Meyiwa. I mean, just even hearing Judge Rata say that, I was so proud of him, But then we continue, and Mngomezulu says, so he continues, okay? Mngomezulu, one thing about Mngomezulu and Judge Rata's relationship, they are estranged, okay? So they're just going to keep it very above ground, not get too much into it. Judge Rata asks his question, Mngomezulu answers, and Mngomezulu moves on. He doesn't wait to say, the court, are you satisfied? Can I continue? No, he just moves on. He turns, looks to Mangena, and continues, literally in the same breath, and says, the firearm that Longwe used to shoot Senzo was a 38mm special revolver and not a 9mm. Now, this is the part where I say the internet never forgets. It's when Mangena then says, there was no evidence of any revolver at the crime scene. What do you mean there was no evidence? You mean at the crime scene that you recreated, that we now know ballistics experts are not the ones who are supposed to recreate the crime scene and also test the weapons. We know that now because, our expert comments come through and educate us in the comment section. But if you didn't catch that video, make sure you catch it here. I'm going to link it up here where you hear standard protocol for ballistics experts, okay? Now, he says there was no evidence of any revolver. How can you say that? When Ulongwe, Uzandi, Utumelo, and Umtogo all say they saw a revolver. They might not have used that word, they might have described it, but a gun with a wheel is a revolver. But you are here saying there was no evidence. So you are disputing what the eyewitnesses are saying. And what is concerning is that this was before your communication this was before your cross-examination with Umnisi. And with Umnisi, you literally say it could have been a 9mm fire bullet. why were you so certain that it was a 9mm, but you cannot tell us how you determined that it was a 9mm that was fired out of accused number 3's gun? So to me, it sounds like Mangena cooked the evidence, okay? Allegedly. From what he's saying and from where I'm standing, it sounds to me he cooked the evidence to suit his theory, okay? With what happened or what he recreated to be. And I'm going to do a separate video because this one is already looking a long. I'm going to do a separate video where you guys get to see how he recreated the Oscar Pistorius case, bathroom scene, the crime scene for Oscar Pistorius. Yes, it's a very different crime, but he recreated it, and I want you to listen to the detail that he gives and precision. Okay, we now know that science is the art of precision, consistency, and accuracy. So we're going to compare that with the Senzo trial and compare it with who? The Oscar Pistorius case in my following video. So make sure that you're subscribed, okay, so that we don't miss out on that. But let's finish what Mngomezulu has to say, and then we'll jump on a separate video.
I know why I'm asking this question, but these questions are not related to you, sir, to be honest. There were police officers, senior officers, who attended the crime scene just after Senzo was shot. Senior officers. But this is not relevant to you. Let's move on. May I move on, Malot?
Yes,
if the court is satisfied with.
These questions are not related to you, to be honest, because I'm just Mngomezulu and I'm dropping all the nuggets, okay? I am merging case 375 evidence into case 363 because we are tired, okay? We, the people, are tired. And let me just put this all on the record so that Judge Rata hears what I have to say. And I'm going to put as much as I can on the record until he actually stops me. So right now, you all heard what Judge Rata has written down, that long way shot Senzo, and using the gun that allegedly belonged to Chicco Twala, because why else would Chicco Twala have to submit his gun if he was not at the crime scene? And not only that, when you just think, okay, we've heard enough, Mngomezulu comes through with, and there were also other people, okay, at the crime scene. There was the MEC, there were the general, there were senior officers, okay, generals. I broke down to you the police ranking in my previous video. Let me link it again for you here because I know you guys on the weekend, not everyone is catching up on the video. So I'm going to link it here in case you missed the ranking video so that you know what the ranks are, okay? And Mangena is just a colonel, okay? Just a colonel, but you got to go to the other video to hear why I say just a colonel, okay? That is it from me today. If you've made it this far in the video, you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's a new month, okay? We are here still reporting on the Senzo trial highlights. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the oh my god. It's a lot, okay? It is the Nganewani that keeps on going. The more that the days continue in the Senzo court over there at the Pretoria North High Court, the more shocking information becomes, okay? Is it clearer now who killed Senzo? It is not any clearer than when they first began, but we surely have learned a lot. It is not black and white. And as you can hear, is it really got anything to do with the 5 accused? That's it from me today. I'll catch you on my next upload. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. We are growing over here. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers by the end of this week. Can we count you in? Thanks for watching.
My lord, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
As the court pleases, my lord, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
If the grooves don't fit, acquit the 5 accused. Mnisi has done a fantastic job proving there was no match.